How many times have you heard children say that? If you spent any time around kids, you've probably heard it a bunch. Usually it starts around age 5 and goes till around 8 or 9 years old when they start saying it. And then after that, they start to internalize that idea of things not being fair. And to be honest with you, most adults have that same concept, that same idea, because they don't understand what fairness means. What does that mean? It's not fair. We're told by our parents when we're younger, hey, life's not fair. And then we tend to think of it in that way. We tend to think, well, I guess life's not fair, and we just kind of accept it, and we go across like this mediocrity of life. But the truth is, there are a lot of situations in life that are not fair, and then in a bad way, and there's a lot of situations in life that are not fair in a good way. Let me explain. Someone recently explained this to me. I say recently, maybe within the last year, maybe a year and a half, I don't know. But they explained it in this way. If you give zero effort in the things that you do, what kind of result do you get? Obviously, you get zero results, right? Now, what if I decide I'm going to give a little bit of effort? Maybe if I were to quantify it, I would say like 25% effort. What if I were to give 25% effort? Then what kind of results do I get then? What kind of feedback do I get? You get zero back from it. You get maybe, maybe a little bit, but it doesn't count. Okay. I'm going to give an average effort. I'm going to give just average what everybody else does. So now what kind of results do I get? Average? No. You get zero or next to nothing. The truth is, the world is full of average people. The world is full of average people. There's nothing really super special about that. But everybody's giving average efforts. So as a result, you don't get average results. You usually get less than average. And then we start thinking, I'm working so hard, I'm giving everything I've got. I can't seem to, whether it's with my family or with my work or in school or with my fitness and my eating, it just doesn't seem to pay off. Well, the truth is most people's average are way, way low. Something to think about that I see a lot, and I hear people talk about a lot, is like customer service. How many times have you picked up the phone to call your insurance company or the electric company or something like that, trying to get some help or something like that, and you just can't seem to get a hold of anybody, or nobody knows what's going on, or you even go to the store and you can't seem to find anybody to kind of help you? That's because the average has dropped way, 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 way down. But that's good news. That makes it easier to be good at something or to be above average at something. So the first step is to say, hey, you know what? I realize that in order to do well, I've got to be above average at something. I got to pick something. So I'm going to be above average. So here comes the next question. If I say I do really good at something, I'm above average. Say I do really well. What kind of result will I get from that? Surely I get a good result, right? No. Usually you get about an average result, a little bit less than what you gave. Think about it like this. If you're in school and you got a above average grade, what kind of grade is that? That's a C plus, maybe a B minus, right? Which is perfectly fine, I guess, but it's not exactly something that you would, write home about. As a matter of fact, your parents might be mad at you if you brought that home, right? So we got to think about what is an excellent, giving your best, excellent result, right? What happens if I decide I'm going to give it my best? Whatever it is I choose to do, I'm going to give my best, and I'm going to try my best, and I'm really going to try to excel. What kind of result do I get from that? Do I get average? Good? No. At that point, you skip over good, and you get an excellent return for your efforts. You see, and that's not really fair, because all the people that are working really hard don't get great results. But if you focus on being excellent at something, you have to realize there's so few people doing that. There's so few people putting their whole heart into something. There's so few people giving their best, whatever it is, that really stands out. One of the things we tell the kids is like, LeBron James. He is, you may recognize him from the basketball court, or you may recognize him from that movie, Space Jam. But the truth is, a lot of people play basketball. They go to the game and they play, right? You have another level of people who practice and play, and maybe they're in the NBA, and they practice and they play the game and they take their off season and they get back to the preseason, they go back. But LeBron James is like at the top of the top of the top, right? A person like a LeBron James or a Michael Jordan in basketball, those guys, they don't have an off season. They are always improving their game, right? Think of like a Kobe Bryant. He said that he practiced where most people practicing twice a day, he would do 3 times a day, because that one extra practice would give him, throughout the course of the week, 7 times more practices. And after a little bit, the competition could never catch up because he was so far ahead. Even if you did start 3 times, he was so far ahead, you could never catch up with him. There is a point to where when you give an excellent effort, that you will get excellent, maybe even better than excellent returns. Is that fair that you get more than what you put in? Probably not. But like our parents told us, life isn't fair. You have to give your best, you have to be excellent, and that's the way that's just how life works. Now, here comes the hard part. Obviously, you can't be the best or the excellent, be excellent at everything, right? Is that possible? As a Taekwondo instructor, as a martial arts instructor, I try to give my best to be the best instructor that I can be, right? But also, before I'm instructor, before that, I'm a student. So I always am trying to learn and be my best as a student as well, right? But even beyond that, I try to be my best with my family. I try to be my best with my friends. There's only so much, right? So there's some things that I can't be the best at. Like, I'm probably not going to be the best carpenter in the world because there's just not enough time for that. I'm probably not going to be the best accountant in the world because I just don't have enough time to give to all. Something's got to give, right? I'm going to tell you what you could be excellent at right now, that you could be the best. Nobody else could possibly catch up with you, and it will pay dividends of a return, like beyond, that it's just going to be outstanding. Are you ready? This is it. Be the best you that you can be. Decide what's important for you. Your family, your fitness, your health, your mental health, all of those things. And give your best for those things. Your work, those things. And just give your best for those things. If you give your best for those things, then what's going to happen is you're going to see an outstanding return. And just be the best you that you can be. Listen, when our parents told us that life isn't fair, they were right. It's not fair. Sometimes we give effort and we get nothing in return. But it's also fair the other way. When we give an excellent effort more, we get even more in return. It's as much as it swings this way, it swings this way whenever you're giving your best. So, guys, if you're in class, if you're giving your best, if you're in class and you're practicing, and if there's one lesson we can teach kids or adults or anybody, always give your best. Whatever it is you're doing right now, give your best in it right now. I promise you that when you excel in what you're doing right now, you're going to get return. One of the things that I explained it to was like the kids. There's an old Greek story about a man who was cursed, and he had to push this rock up a hill. It was a boulder, and he pushed it up a hill, and then every day he would push it up, and then at night it would roll back down. It would push it up, and then it would roll back down. So every day for all eternity, he had to push the rock up, and it would roll back down. The problem is, he was only going halfway. If you give your best, and you push it up that mountain, push it up that hill, and you keep going and keep going and keep going, eventually you make it to the top, and it rolls, it gets all the way to the other side. It goes up and down all the way to the other side without any effort of your own. That's the same thing's true for you. Be the best you can be, and eventually being you becomes easier, mentally, physically, everything. All right? Hey, I look forward to seeing you guys in class, and Keep up the good work.